Use the conclusion of the essence. It will alleviate the situation. This is the essence that helps end the suffering. The blessing has to be continuous. Therefore, the conclusion towards ending, helping through ending, has to be continuously. Therefore, use the reminders more often. That which has nothing to do with mine or not mine, attachment or non-attachment. Use the reminders and do forgiveness statements. The reminders will absorb into the heart and mind of the beings. And the mighty force will purify automatically. You will not see what is there that is ended within them. To use acknowledgement, to use knowing is too gross. Use the essence of Nibbana, which has nothing to do with knowing or not knowing. Uninvolvement within the uninvolvement itself. No is not no itself. Use the essence of Nibbana to purify samsara. There is no need to check the results, having in whatever ways. There is automatic purification anyway. Everything will be purified altogether. The Vedana is there because of the result by using the mind, using the projection, contemplation, special insights, meditative power. Use the reminders to purify all of these, and it will purify the Vedana. The Vedana is coming and going. Anyway, one will just feel irritated. It's unbearable. Therefore, use the reminders simultaneously purifying. Discard the discarding itself, give up the giving up itself. This has nothing to do with discarding or not, Nibbana or not. Use the reminders. That which has nothing to do with giving up or not, discarding or not, letting go or not. Conclude like this. That which has nothing to do with liberated or not. This will purify the system of firm attachment to one's own opinions and meanings. That which has nothing within involvement or uninvolvement. Continue to use the reminders. Conclusion of Nibbana. That is Nibbana purifying samsara. That which has nothing to do with finishing or not finishing with the vibhak, with karmic difficulties. These will not be engrossed with using knower to grab whether it's there or not. This is the purification for deluded viewpoints, delusion within seeing and knowing. That which has nothing to do with having or not having, finishing or not finishing. Let's conclude through Nibbana thoroughly. That which is not about anything within involvement or uninvolvement. That which has nothing to do with yes or no. Conclusion of Nibbana. It will purify the grasping mind. The grasping mind is the delusive attachment, the delusion. It is trying to grasp any assuming up, body and mind, grasping within the utilizing of the mind, the utilizing of a state of mind. This will be purified. That which has nothing within involvement or uninvolvement. That which is not relevant to being empty or not. even Nibbana or not Nibbana. This will be true essence of Nibbana. It's not about feeling that is Nibbana, thinking or having idea about Nibbana, seeing or knowing that is Nibbana. That's not it. Nibbana doesn't signify itself as Nibbana. This is the conclusion to purify deluded viewpoint, samudaya within seeing and knowing. That which has nothing to do with Nibbana or not Nibbana. This will purify the delusion to set up for Nibbana. This is the setting up, the projection for something that is not about a projection. It is the samudaya within itself. Just conclude to purify the projection, that which has nothing to do with Nibbana or not Nibbana, even within the uninvolvement itself. It's not relevant to it. These are the reminders to be used often. It will purify the causes, which is the samudaya, and the result of the samudaya, which is the Vedana and hindrances that comes with it. The samudaya is the projection for the projection, grasping for the grasping, overlaying the grasping, projecting for the projecting, knowing for knowing, thinking for thinking, seeing for seeing. This is all about samudaya. This is desire, delusion and delusive attachment overlaying, grasping, mind overlaying. So conclude to purify these causes, the samudaya, from the grasping mind. The consequences is the Vedana that follows. This is to purify the causes and the results. Use the reminders as a conclusion. That which is not relevant to grasping or not grasping, mind or not mind. That which has nothing within involvement or uninvolvement. That which is not relevant to giving up or not, then it will be truly giving up. Normally they use opinions to let go, to give up, using titti to put down, to let go, using titti to proceed. That's why we need to dissolve the titti itself, the opinions and meanings, uninvolved even within the uninvolvement itself. That which is not relevant even to the uninvolvement itself. That which is not even the no itself. No grasping for the non-grasping itself. It will purify all about the grasping. These are the samudaya, the set up for the set up, the projection for the projection. Projecting for all things we drag a long way. The cause is the projection for the projection. Let's purify it. No grasping for the non-grasping itself with everything giving up the giving up itself. Ceasing the samudaya. The boundlessness has nothing to do with grasping or not grasping. Maha Sinyada Nibbana, purifying samsara, blessing samsara continuously. It has nothing within involvement or uninvolvement, grasping or not grasping, being empty or not. This is the boundlessness. No conditions in the form of attachment or non-attachment or detachment. That which is not relevant to attachment or detachment, attachment or non-attachment, fixation or not. Let's use the reminders like this to purify continuously. Use the reminders as a conclusion. It gives ending right away. It purifies right away. Use the reminders constantly, only as a conclusion. It will purify the struggling to get out. This is making it worse. The struggling to get out, making it worse. That which has nothing within involvement or uninvolvement. That which is not relevant within liberating or not. That which is not relevant to being liberated or not. It will purify the struggling. Struggling in, struggling out is the state of bhava tanha, wanting to be, to get, to have. It is the samudaya. It is the cause itself. The struggling is the cause itself. Struggling to attach, to detach. The attempt to attach and detach, it is also the cause itself. It is the samudaya in itself. Therefore, just don't relate to all these kind of titi at all. That which is not relevant to having boundaries or not. Don't let there be any choosing. Get something, whether it's about liberation, emptiness or nibbana. Don't let there be any choice, because choices are the samudaya itself. If there is any belief values in such a thing, in all these meanings, we have to purify all these belief values. That which has nothing to do with projecting or not, grasping or not, being obliged or not. All the belief values has suffering in itself. Even trying to get out of the Vedana is also a belief value. Just purify instantly. That which has nothing to do with liberating or not. That which is not about anything within involvement or uninvolvement. And proceed simultaneously with everything, with this essence. This will purify through the conclusion without grasping for the conclusion. There is no hidden samudaya in there. Proceed simultaneously with the essence. That which is not about anything within involvement or uninvolvement. That which has nothing to do with yes or no. Let's proceed simultaneously with such an essence. It will give ending to the ending itself. It will give ending to the overlaying of the samudaya for everything, according to the reminders that purify continuously. There will not be samudaya overlaying. To involve with hell realms too much will taking on their Vedana, involving much with all the beings. The system of all realms, they are the result of karma. Therefore, the results of karma that is ongoing, we don't need to make it worse. All the mechanism of the karma of the beings still not yet total cutting, cannot dissolve this kind of mechanism. Anyhow, the beings they receive their own karmic payback normally. They are voiding anyway in their suffering. But when we involve in it, it is by fixing rules and regulations in the samsara. All the penalty, punishments is because of rules and regulations in the realms of existence. It's become karma overlaying on top of karma that is already there. It turns into involvement with the karma of the beings, which is not supposed to do. Karma already gives result in itself for everyone. No one destined the animals to become animals. They created their own karma, the same as the hungry ghost. They are destined by their karma, and they are suffering in their hungry ghostness. And the rules on top that is fixed by samsara. Therefore, they are those who are in charge. It creates karma on top from those who are in charge, who have to do the duty, which is unnecessary. Whether it's in heaven realm or hell realms is unnecessary. It's the duty that should not be there. Rules and regulations should not be there at all. Actually, there should not be. It has to help through unwinding and releasing, which is the direct duty for all the bodhisattva minds. Just let them, allowing them. There must be some kind of giving lessons. The role models are there already. If they create karma, they suffer within themselves, by themselves already. The role models are there. The good role models are already there. The non-attachment is reflecting all the attachment for the world and samsara already. There is no need to do anything for those who are vulgar. They have the law of karma. If they hurt and harm, they will be hurt and harmed. They are paying back their karma. You have to look through clearly with this kind of consequences. All this confusion, the troublesome, is because of the samuttai of the beings. And there is the samuttai that is created on top of all the samuttai of the beings, because rules and regulations has been created overlaying on top of the karma of the beings, of the samuttai that is already there. Actually, all these rules don't help at all. To enable to help, it has to be in the way of Buddhas and the Arahants and Bodhisattva's mind. Actually, the way that you help, it just create Vedana on top in such a form that you help. Is not truly helping. When you create fixation of rules and regulations, it creates the payback of karma in the way of taking charge, paying back in take charge with rules and regulations is a kind of karmic difficulties. You see, this is karma in itself, creating rules and regulations, creating karma on top, destined and circling in such a way. From the delusion to create rules, have to pay back and destined to take charge with the rules and regulations, circling with such a karmic difficulties in the samsara on and on. Therefore, it's not truly helping. What is that is truly helping? It has to be the enlightenment of the Buddhas, reflecting towards the non-attachment, that which has nothing to do even with the uninvolvement itself. We have to say and mention this often, that which is not even the know itself. This will be aligned with the essence of the enlightenment of the Buddhas, and they will be cutting for the cycle of the karma of the beings. Otherwise, it's going to be making it worse and emphasizing much more on opinions and meanings, vedana, thoughts, feelings. We have to help through unwinding continuously, that which has nothing to do with letting go or not letting go, liberating or not, that which is not relevant to fixation or non-fixation. Just reflect to be aligned with the essence of Nibbana as a conclusion. It is not to do in whatever ways, to make the mind in whatever ways at all. That is the samudaya, to make the mind in this and that. From Brahma realm to hell realms, if you diligently creating rules, you have to pay back by circling with taking charge with rules and regulations for eons of times, for across Buddha era times, on and on. It is a karmic difficulty of those who take charge in the heaven, in the hell realms. They have deludedly creating rules and regulations, deludedly utilizing it. It's creating karma by creating rules and regulations, circling, taking charge for humans and non-humans, in hell, in heavens, on and on. It's a kind of karmic difficulties that happens until now, from the causes that happens. It is the karma overlaying the rule, the law of karma. The law of karma has effects in its way already. And those who creating rules and regulations, they also have to pay back by being destined to take charge of rules and regulations. That is not truly helping. If you want to say that there is no way out, it has to be like that, then you have to align with the essence of the enlightenment of the Buddhas from every Buddha era. Use it to help cut through deluded knowing of samsara thoroughly. This is not that there is no other way. If there is no other way, then use no other ways at all. Don't involve there. Don't be obsessed with identifying and involving. And when there is no identification and no involvement, the mighty force of that will help through unwinding and releasing. It will not become samudaya. It will not become the cause of suffering. When there is a lot of identification, it is the cause of suffering and the suffering for samsara. We have to adjust to end the forms of heavens and hells. Karma from all people, from all beings. It creates hell and heaven already. But there is no need to encourage realms of existence within the beingness. With everything mind from mind itself altogether, use the essence of cutting deluded knowing for samsara. Don't encourage heaven or hell or any forms of realms of existence. Then all realms will be able to conclude through the essence of the enlightenment. We must purify the forms of heavens and hells. They should not be there. They should not be there. Use Nibbana to come to terms with ending for samsara, with everything. With everything not attached to the non-attachment itself altogether. With everything my from my itself. Giving up from the giving up itself altogether.